Hi, my name is Jignesh and I am instructor for today's session. Today I am going to teach you how you can create a virtual machine using Microsoft Azure. You can also create a virtual machine using the Azure CLI. But in the today's session we cover how you can create a virtual machine using the Azure portal. So let's start it. This is your Azure dashboard when you can say there is no resource right now available. Here you can create new resources. For now we can create a virtual Windows virtual machine or Linux virtual machine. You can also create a virtual machine from the left hand side blade virtual machines. You can select the virtual machine blade and you can click on the create buttons to create a virtual machines. But before creating virtual machine we need to create a resource group. Now what is the resource group? Resource group is a logical collections of resources. You can check create a resource group from here, or you can click on the create resource group from here. Let's click on the create a resource group. You can say check that right now there is no resource group is available over here. So before starting anything else we need to create a resource group. You can also create a resource group at the time of creating the resources, but it's my preference that you need to create resource group first. Here you can check there is a subscription is the first options where you can check the all available subscription. Select any one of them. You can specify the resource group name over here. You can say the resource group name is a collections of resources that share the same lifecycle permissions and identities. You can specify the resource group name over here. Let's specify the my web app -rg. Yeah, it's a and you can also check there is a right and the right side there is a tick mark. You can check that this tick mark means this resource group is available and you can create. You can also select the region. You can there is so many options available to select the regions from Microsoft Azure. For now we select the East US region and let's click on the next step. In the next step there is a tags means there is a in the Azure you can specify the key value pair to these particular resources to logically organize them by categorize. So let's give some names and value to this particular resource. For now I have not specified anything, and next click on the create and views. Once its validation is passed, you can check the validation is passed over here, and after that we need to create click on the create button. You can check once it's validating and it's create the resource group. You can check in the notification bar that a resource group is created. You can pin resource group to the dashboard. You can go to the resource group. Click on the go to resource group. So this is your resource group. Name is my web app -rg. You can check there is so many other options available here, and you can check that there is no resources allocated to this resource group, no resources to display. You can add resources from direct here, or you using the create resources, or you can also create resources first and then assign the resources to this resource group. Let's create the virtual machine. Virtual machine is one type of resources for us. Yes, virtual machine. You can create a virtual machine by clicking on the create virtual machine. Sometimes it's take time. Virtual machine is the same as your personal PC, which is virtually available over the cloud. You can also click on the link below to know more about how you can create a virtual machine directly with the Linux or Windows. Let's go with the step by step. Yeah, this is the your create a virtual machine form where you can specify all the details, and according to your details your virtual machine is ready. First we need to select the resource group. You can also click on the create new to create a resource group directly from here. As we already created, I not need to create new ones. I select my old one, that is my web app .rg. The next thing is a virtual machine name. You can specify any valid virtual machine name over here. Virtual machine in the Azure have two distinct name. Virtual machine name used as a virtual Azure resource identifier, and in the guest host name. When you create a virtual machine in the portal, the same name is used for both the virtual machine name and the host name. Let's specify the VM1 as a virtual machine name. You can specify the any names as you want. The next thing is the region. For the same, I select the East US region. In the availability options, I select as it is. In the image, I say need to select the OS type like Ubuntu's, Linux or Windows. Let's select any one of the Windows OS, Windows servers, Windows 10 or anything Windows servers. For now, let's select the Windows Server 2016 data center. After that, you can check there is a Azure Sport instance. You can select the yes or no in the Sport instance. If you don't want to know what is the Sport instance, then click on the information button. A Sports instance offer a unusual Azure capacity at the discounted rate versus pay as you go price. Workload should be tolerant to infrastructure loss, as Azure may recall the capacity of pay as you go. So for now I need to select no. In the size options, you can select your virtual machine size, like virtual CPUs, RAMs, temporary storage, etc. Let's change the size. This is the list of available options in which you can create your virtual machines by using the virtual CPUs, RAM, disk, max IOs, temporary storage, premium disk types. And you can also check there is in the last column it specifies the cost per month. So you can say that this virtual machine is cost you this much amount, this virtual machine cost you this much amount per month. You can select any one of them as per your requirement. For now we need to select two virtual core CPUs with the 4 GB RAM. So this option is available with two B2S standard B2S options. You can check the price over here. And the next thing is the administrator account. You need to specify the username and valid password. To this username and password is used to log into your virtual machine, so please note down this username and password anywhere in the secure place, so you can utilize this to log into your virtual machines. Let's specify the very strong password along with the confirm password. The next thing is the inbound port rules. What is the inbound port rules? Inbound port rules means it's specify the which port is allowed to transactions with the virtual machines. Allowed transaction with the virtual machine. You can select any one of available port like HTTP, HTTPS, SSH or RDP. For now I want to connect with the RDP connection, so I need to select the RDP connections. And the last option is if you already have a server license. I don't have, so I select no. Click on the next options after validating all the informations. The next options or we can say next tab is the disk. You can select the different OS disk type like standard HDD, standard SSD or premium SSD. Let's select the standard HDD. You can also select the standard SSD or premium SSD. You can also select the encryption type. I select the default. You can also attach extra disk from here along with your OS disk if you want. In the advanced options, you can say check that if you want to use any managed disk over here or not. So I select yes. Click on the next. It's a networking tab. In this networking game, you can specify the virtual networks along with the default subnet. According to your virtual network and subnet, your virtual machine generate one private IP from where you can connect your virtual machine in the private network. Also, you can specify the one public IP over here, so using this public IP you can connect your virtual machines. You can check the virtual network. The default one is already selected and created new one. Let's create a new one using the create news. You can specify the names, address range, and you can also specify the default subnet. So let's keep as it is, the subnet also as it is, and you can also check the public IP. That is, you can also create a new one, or it's automatically defaultly create new ones. Let's say like NIC network security is the basics option. Inbound port to the RDP only. Load balancer not required for now, so select no. Click on the management. In the management tab, there is options like security centers, monitoring, identities, auto shutdown, backups, auto backups, and all those. For our instance, it's not required now, but you can change these options according to your requirement. Let's select the next advanced tab. In this advanced tab, you can check the extension, means there is a post development configuration and automation. If you want to add any softwares after this OS installation to with along with your virtual machine, you can select the extension. You can select the VM generation. The available option is generation 1, generation 2. Select on the next tab. It's a tag options available like our resource group. You can tagging your virtual machine with the key value pair, so you can categorize resource, and you can check later. Let's create review and create. In the when you selecting the review and create tab, it's validate all the information that is entered by you, and once it's validated, you allowed to create the virtual machine. Yes, its validation is passed. Now you can validate or check all the informations, and click on the create button to create our virtual machine. Yeah, after validating all information, I click on the create button. Let's wait for some time. You can check the notifications in the notification bar. Right now it's submitting, and the current status is deployment in the progress. You can click on this link. You can check that your deployment is underway, and there is no resources created at once resource is created, it's automatically added in this list. So you can check there is a virtual network is available, network security group is also created, public IP also created, and storage network storage also created. Let's waiting for virtual machine. Process is still underway. Yes, virtual machine is created. Let's configure. Waiting for the configuration. You can check there is a virtual machine is created, network info created, virtual network created, network security group, public IPs. All resources are created along with this virtual machines. Once deployment is completed, you can click on the go to resources tab, go to resource buttons to check your virtual machine configurations. This is our virtual machine configurations page, and you can check the resource group, public IP, private IP address. You can also check the networks and subnet. You can also configure the DNS name if you want. You can also check the operating systems, that is Windows. The start, stop, and restart options also available on the top. You can also check your data usage, CPU usage, and network overload, and all those in the graphical format. You can also use the monitor inside. Let's check the other options. Like in the settings you can navigate to the networking options. In the networking you can check there is an NICs, private IPs, public IPs available. You can check the network interface. You can also set your inbound port rules, outbound port rules, application security group, and load balancing. You can also add or delete any port from the inbounding rules and outbound port rules. You can select the connect tab to check your connections with the virtual machine using the RDP, SSH, or bestin. The public IP is available here, so using this public IP and RDP file you can connect your virtual machine using the remote desktop connection. This is for Windows. If you are using the Linux, then USSH port is available for you. You can in the disk option you can check the disk OS disk available. You can also add the extra disk using this add data disk options. You can also swap your data disk and the OS disk using the swap disk options. You can also check the scaling and scale out your virtual machine using the size option. As we already select B2 as standard options for this virtual machine, you can also select the lower virtual machine, or you can also select the higher virtual machines and click on the resize to resize your virtual machines dynamically. The next options is the security. In the security you can check that all the security related threads alerts are available here. There is a recommendations security alerts available here, so you can take the action accordingly. Right now know the recommendation and security alerts for this virtual machine as it is created only. You can also try the security alerts. The next thing is extension. If you want to add some extensions like extra software along with your virtual machine, you can add from here. Once you create the click on the add buttons, it specifies all the softwares available from the marketplace, and by clicking on the software you can easily install your software along with your virtual machine in the single click. In the continuous delivery, it's provide the DevOps options. If you are using the DevOps and continuous delivery model, you can configure the continuous delivery options here, so your virtual machine is ready to continuous delivery. For now it's not required. You can check the availability set and scalability. I never not set the availability set for now, so there is no availability set available here. You can also check the identities, properties, logs, and you can also export the template of this virtual machine. In the properties menu you can check all the properties related to this virtual machine. Virtual machine is running, name is VM1, public IPs, private IPs, operating systems, generations, and all those. In the identity you can check that the system assigned the manage identity to authenticate, allow user to log in with this virtual machine or not. So you can specify the user assigned identity and system assigned identity. In the other operations you can navigate to bestins, auto shutdowns, backup, recoveries, and all those. In the monitoring options you can specify the insight, alerts, metrics, logs, connection monitor. Along with that, in the support you have a resource health. And also one another option available is a reset password. If you forget your virtual machine password, then using this option you can recover your password from the Azure port directly. So it's all our option is available here. You can utilize this public IP to connect your virtual machine using the RDP connections. You can also download RDP files from here. Download RDP file, simply opens and specify give your credentials and simply click on the connect. So this is the all about the virtual machine, how you can create, how you can connect your virtual machine, all the related options available along with your virtual machines. So it's super easy with Azure portal. You can create anything things. You can configure your virtual machine according to your business requirement. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel.